1 in 10 primary schools surveyed by the Cancer Society have students who are vaping, even though under 18 shouldn't be able to buy the products. More than 300 schools responded to the questionnaire, with half describing vaping as a problem. One school said it knew of parents buying vapes for their children because they considered them a more healthy option to smoking. The author of the study, Candace Bagnell from the Cancer Society, told me the results were surprising.
It was a bit of a shock that primary school kids are vaping, although, the people who responded didn't think that was such a problem.
Tell us a bit about that. What level of vaping is there among kids of that age?
Well, we don't know. I can tell you that my grandson started getting interested in vaping when he was 10, so I guess that's primary school. And it was very easy for him to find out about it, and he lives online, and he just followed the the advertising and actually did a project on vaping at school when he was at primary school. But he wasn't vaping then; he was just interested.
So nearly 1 in 10 of the primary schools that responded to the survey said they're aware of their children vaping. How worrying is that?
Well, I think it's worrying. I think it's worrying, but I don't think it's surprising, because young children are very attracted to flavourings and colourings and the whole technology, and it's all there online in front of them. So, yeah, if Charlie, my grandson, is any example, they will be very drawn to this whole technology.
How are they getting this stuff, though? Because legally they can't purchase it themselves. They're under the age of 18. So how are they getting access, do you think?
Well, I think it's pretty easy for kids to get access to stuff online. My grandson told me that you just go into a shop, you get a Prezi card, you then go online and you sometimes get asked how old you are, but often not, and you just go through the online purchasing process and it gets sent to you.
Is there any suggestion that parents are purchasing it for young children?
One of the respondents to our survey did say that she was aware of parents buying it for their children as a healthier option. So
teenage children you're talking about here?
I'm pretty confident that's teenage children.
Well, a couple of things. So what do you think is driving kids to vaping, younger kids?
Well, I think it's advertising and marketing online, and they are watching their slightly older brothers and sisters who are very interested in vaping, and a lot of them are vaping. It just seems to have taken off very quickly in schools.
You'll be aware, obviously, the companies involved with these products say they're not targeting young people. They're aiming at the smoking cessation market and adults. What's your response to that?
Well, I think we've heard that story before about smoking tobacco, haven't we? I don't think there's any doubt that there's targeting of children and young people going on. I mean, we know that both vaping and tobacco industry interests have been out there promoting their products at youth music concerts, on youth radio stations in Auckland. It's everywhere, and anyway, children aren't immune to messages that they're getting for adults.
So when you say that at least one parent or one school responded that parents see it as a safe product, what would you say about that? Because there is conflicting views around this. No. I think that's a really important point. I think there's been a lot of coverage of this 95% safer than tobacco figure, which is really not a scientific number at all. I think it was agreed by a group of researchers at a conference, but it's got a lot of traction. So there's a widespread belief that definitely that it's safer
than smoked tobacco, and it is safer than smoked tobacco, but smoked tobacco is very dangerous. We know it kills half the people who use it. So that message, I think, it's very easy for people to hear, and especially children and young people, that the product's safe. They don't distinguish between relatively safe and safe. They just think, oh, it's harmless and it's fun.
So what would your message be to the parent of a primary age school child who is vaping?
Put a stop to it. These things aren't toys. They're very addictive. A lot of them have got nicotine in. And, just don't treat it like a toy.
Are schools at primary level, are they worried about it?
They don't seem to be seeing it as a problem at the moment. But
should they be?
Well, I think they should, yeah.
Well, what can they do about it, really?
What they can do is do their best to stop it becoming a trend, because kids do love it. They do love the whole sort of being naughty and smoking, vaping in the toilets and all that sort of stuff. It's all part of the risk-taking that you see in young people. They need to put a stop to it.